That is why I cannot wait to get away from this property right here. So, in case you were wondering. It's been crazy hot this summer. It's about 8 o'clock at night right now, evening, and it's still about 85, 86 degrees out. Suns went down over the hill and you can still feel the heat as soon as you walk outside. But work has to get done. And I can already hear the gears turning. I'm sure I'm going to get a couple of comments. Why am I emptying this thing out? Well, especially with it being so hot, why am I emptying this out? Well, we have some rain coming up. So I'm going to take that time to go ahead and utilize to refill this. Go ahead and refresh the water here. It's been a little bit since I've done that. There hasn't been anything growing in this for a while. We did grow some cause lettuce, some Paris Island lettuce, some green romaine along with some red romaine. It did very, very, very well until the brutal heat took over in the middle of summer. Then after that, we just went ahead, shut it down, go ahead and clean it out, do a little bit of a refresh, just in time for our fall garden to kick off. If you're interested in how I built this system, I have a YouTube video up. You can go over and check it out. But after this video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a little bit of a walk around. I'm going to show you what we have going on because we have quite a bit growing and it all looks good. And if you do remember, we did do a grape trellis, a DIY grape trellis. This looks great. The grapes turned out phenomenal. We did get a couple of clusters of grapes off of these two. We didn't quite get any grape clusters off of here. I think there was a couple down low, but I do think the birds got them or something else. But these two right here, I did get a couple of good bushels of grapes, and they were on the smaller side, but they were still delicious. Very, very sweet. They were a little tart in the beginning, so we let them sit, and then they ended up being very, very sweet. The one in the middle is starting to get to the point where it can grasp onto the door. That way when we open it, it can move with it without pulling it out of the ground or doing any damage to any of the foliage. They look great. They're going to do great next year. However, we might not be here to see that. We got some plans coming up, so I think we might be looking to move on from this property right here. However, this property has done us well. It's been quite the property. This is only less than an acre total, which we only really use about half of that. So we're only really growing food on about a 20 foot by 20 foot square. Plus this right here, whatever you would put this at square footage wise, maybe 10 feet by 2 feet, so about a 20 foot there as well, and then 20 foot by 20 foot in the actual vegetable garden and the raised beds are. Okay, so now as you can see, we have our tomatoes, the pepper rails are doing great. Let's go check them out. So these right here were a lot of indeterminate tomato plants. There was 24 tomato plants in this section right here. This has been thinned out tremendously to about, looks like 1, 2, 3, looks about 8 plants. This whole half of the bed right here, except for right here, so from here over is empty. We've pulled all of the plants that were here. We left all of the ones that were salvageable. It seems like everything from here over had very, very early blight issues and fungal issues. and I couldn't shake it. So we had to cut them out, we had to remove them, and it gave us enough room and space to pull these down and to lower them and lean them. As you can see, the stalk is crooked on all these. This one goes all the way over to there, and that allows us to utilize as much of the plant as we can and keeping them able to be picked or harvested. We don't want to harvest them way up here. We don't want to harvest them on the ground. We like them to be right here at a very, very easy harvesting height. These plants still look healthy. This had a little bit of a burn to it. I'm not quite sure if that was from the light, because this was over there where the shade cloth is not quite covering. And as you can see, we do have a shade cloth over top, a 40% shade cloth that has been doing great for this garden right here. We did get a bunch of tomatoes out of here already. We froze probably about 10 pounds, maybe 15 pounds of tomatoes. We gave some away, you know, some have been thrown away. That's just how it goes. You always grow more than what you need in case of situations, because there's always going to be something that arises. I do need to do a little bit of trimming out here, but we'll save that for a different time. Let's go over and check these peppers out. These are doing fantastic. As you can see, they are a very, very healthy shade of green. Nice and dark, nice and luscious is the word I'm looking for here. We have some very nice growth going on. I don't see a lot of deficiencies or anything. Actually, I really don't see any deficiencies whatsoever. We're having very, very minimal pest damage or pest pressure. These are inside of cocoa coir and perlite. That's all they're growing in, cocoa and perlite. They are sitting over top of a rain gutter grow system, which is just basically a sub-irrigated passive hydroponic system that works through capillary action or wicking. Works absolutely fantastic, as you can see right here. Today was 94 degrees and these plants didn't droop, didn't do anything. But I mean, you know, the shade cloth does do good. But I've had plants that I grew over there and right here that weren't in a hydroponic system like this. I used to have a long bed right here and I grew peppers in it just like this, and they struggled. And I even had the 40% shade cloth. It just, I don't know. The constant access to moisture for the roots just seems to do all the difference. They are putting on some very good peppers, nice and elongated. We have some green bell peppers on this row right here, and the front row is our hot pepper section. We have some serranos, some pepperoncinis, some some jalapenos, and it looks like some hot bananas. And I do need to do a little bit of work in here. I need to run another line of this Florida weave trellis. As you can see, we're putting on some peppers and some fruit action here, so they're starting to get a little top heavy. We need to do that over here as well before we have any issues when it comes to any other storms or anything like that. I don't want any catastrophe. I don't want to come out here and have this whole section flopped over because they're too tall and the peppers are too heavy. This system is awesome. I don't have to ever do anything besides keep these barrels right here full, which actually one of these barrels controls this system right here. The other barrel controls the systems that are back here, which I stopped using about a month ago once the herbs that were in them died off. I ended up just calling it on the herb over there, which that does work. We will have to revisit that in a later video, possibly next season. But I get a lot of questions whenever I show people that I know or my friends or things like that on how this system works so good. Well, it's because I never have to do anything. That's the genius behind this system. If I still had to come out here and do things, that would hinder the whole purpose of doing this. The purpose of doing a system like this, the rain gutter grow system, a DIY sub-irrigated passive system, is I don't have to spend my days out here watering, especially like today when it was 94 degrees. You know, and in the sun, I'm sure it's even more than that. I don't have any hair, so I don't want to get burnt up. I definitely don't want to stand out here and water every one of these plants. There's 9 in one and then 11 in another. I think it's 11 in this one and 9 in this one. I wish I could fly a plane. Maybe one day. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so this system really is one of the easiest things that I've ever hooked up. All I have to do, damn train, but all I have to do is maintain the water that's in this barrel right here and the nutrient level that's in it. I could have nutrients in it, I could have no nutrients and just have pH'd water. I could not have pH'd water and just give them rainwater. This is a rain collection system. That's growing in an urban environment for you there, folks. That is why I cannot wait to get away from this property right here. So, in case you were wondering, the only thing that I have to do is to keep this barrel right here topped up with water, pH'd water, or nutrient-rich water, which for this particular run for these peppers is only nutrient-rich water. Like I said, there is no organic matter in our pots right here. There is strictly cocoa and perlite. All of the nutrients that are being fed to these girls come from that barrel right there, and they're fed underneath into the rain gutter grow system. And the rain gutter grow system is just a vinyl downspout with a bunch of areas that can withhold a 3D printed wicking spike. And on that wicking spike, there is cotton, or in my case, Oramerk. That's what I like to use for all of my wicking action systems, is Oramerk. So we just run Oramerk, which droops down into the rain gutter or downspout, which on both ends it is sealed. So that basically creates a reservoir. The wicks dangle down into the reservoir and wick up water. The wicking spikes go up into the system, into the bucket, about 3 inches. So it disperses from there, keeping about the bottom third very, very nice and moist. Not oversaturated, because cocoa coir has a very, very high, or a very acceptable CEC rate, which is a cation exchange capacity, which is its ability to hold on to and release water and nutrients as the plant needs them. These peppers look great. Let me show you what else I have going on right over here next to you. So right here we have another row of peppers, except these are not hydroponic. These are in the raised bed we have here. These look great as well. These do take a little bit more sun damage in the morning. Well, I guess not sun damage, but they have a little bit more intense sun in the morning, and then they get shade at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My roof right here with the sun setting in the west, it provides shade from about right here and moves this way as the day progresses. So at this particular time right now, which is the beginning of August, it gets to about here at about 3 o'clock, 2:30, and then these start getting shaded. So that could be a little bit why they're a little elongated versus bushy, but they are starting to produce nice peppers here. We have a very good one right here. Pick that one. Very good looking pepper. Look at that. Just picked it. About palm size. Nothing to write home about. About baseball. About the size of a baseball. Oh, smells very good. We have a bunch of peppers going. This front one right here is loaded with sweet banana peppers, and I need to harvest all these and give these ladies a nutrient boost. Especially this one right here. It's looking a little green, a little light green. So it tells me that it's needing some nutrients. It used up a lot of its nutrients, making these peppers right here. So you can see on our rain gutter grow system the amount of peppers that we have. Peppers, peppers, peppers. These are falling over. Got some here, falling over. Here, these are done. Here. Got a lot going on. Now these are the pepperoncinis right here, like the ones you get at Papa John's and the pizza box. Delicious. I love these peppers. They are so good. Very good. You can see we have a lot of blooms going on. A lot of blooms. All these are going to be peppers. Very nice. Moving on. We've got some serranos. These are hot. These are for my salsas. My chilies. Over here we have a couple in pots. Look like they need water. Yep. But they've got nice peppers. Nice pepper cluster. Same thing over here. Same thing. And you can see we have the elongated ones over here. These are the Emerald Giant. Beautiful. Nice peppers. Starting to get peppers here. Nice cluster. Got a nice one there. Ooh, a couple beauties right there. And they're starting to go. And as you can see, they all have blooms on them. I've switched the nutrient base from a split 10-10-21 that I was using, and I swapped it over to a more phosphorus and potassium based. Lowered the nitrogen a little bit, but you really couldn't tell because how green these are. But more phosphorus is going to signal to the plant to produce a little bit more flowers than vegetative growth. Beautiful. Right next to the peppers is my, I guess, U-shaped raised bed. And it has drip irrigation ran throughout. I didn't run it over here yet because we didn't really plant anything over here. We started to, but then we didn't. We ran out of time and the weather got so crazy. It just got out of hand and we didn't do it. We do have our potatoes. We have, I think, 3 rounds. This round right here. Then we have these 2. And then we have these 3 right here. So we have potatoes that we're going to be harvesting here the next couple of days. Especially these back here. These need harvested ASAP. Coming right in front, we have what's left of our onions that need harvested. We did harvest our entire bed, which is where where I showed you the in ground or in the raised bed pepper plants just were. That's where we had a whole bed of onions, which we harvested. We do still have some basil plants in here. We had green beans along this backside here, right in front of our drip line. And each one of our sections or quadrants has its own, I guess, intake, outtake, distribution spot, whatever you want to call it. But I didn't want to put one and then have it do everything, because then by the end of it, the pressure might be a little different. So we swapped this into 1, 2, 3, 4 quadrants. This one didn't get run yet, which I have all the stuff to run in. It's right here. I just never got around to it. But we did get it ran all the way to here. I just need a little bit right here, and then a piece that goes right here. Then we'll be done with that, ready for the fall garden. So the water comes in here, rainwater, gets released through a filter, goes down through my intake line, which goes down and around into right here. Once I open that up, this will fill up from the bottom all the way to here. Once it dribbles out here, I turn that off and I turn it off from here. That's how I refill my bucket with rainwater. Due to not quite sure what it is, what the actual term of it is called, but water wants to find its level anyway. So either way, this works great. This is below this grade, so this works perfectly. Both of these barrels are the same height, set up the same way. This one comes around to the back. Then, if you see there's a distribution line right here, the distribution line comes out the front. The distribution line can be sent to either one of my systems that go out. I can turn these off, open them up. I can send this to there. I can send this to there. If I open these up, close these, just whatever I need to do, I can send this out to wherever. And I can send it through out to the distribution line, which goes out to all my beds. It goes to here, runs along the backside, and goes to my tomato beds as well. See, runs along right here. Goes up, goes along that, just like on the other side. We have 4 quadrants. Each one of them can be shut off. There's a drip line running all the way through here. So that's how I fed and gave these ladies water. Beautiful. It kept them nice and healthy the whole year. We did have a little bit of problems due to a lot of rain. I can't stop fungal issues when there's too much rain. I could have built a structure over top of this to keep them dry, but that's not feasible for where I'm currently living. Maybe once we move to a different property. I do see a tomato in here that I need to get. Look at that. Massive. Big old tomato. Yeah, it's hand size. Beefy. And this is a Cherokee purple tomato. I've had issues growing these. These are heirlooms. This is the 3rd year that I've tried, and really happy with this one. I've had another one that was this big that I didn't quite get. It dropped off. Took a little damage before I actually got to it. Look at these beautiful tropical sunset. Look at that. Nice variegation. These are like a Mr. Stripey. Take that off. Beautiful tomato. Now I like the yellow tomatoes myself. I have a little bit of a stomach issue, so the lower acidity of the yellow tomatoes does me great. Let's go ahead and give this a little run, see how it tastes. Damn. So good. Nice and juicy. And we also did grow a few cucumber plants, which you can see right here in these white buckets along the fence. They did do pretty good. We did some parthenocarpic Ganesheus ones that are self-fertile and only produce female flowers, as opposed to the male and female and have to cross-pollinate and all that bullshit. That one, this one, or these, you don't have to do that. They pollinate themselves, as well as only produce female flowers. So they produce a lot of fruit, which these did. So we did make some pickles. We do have some cucumbers put back, but they did end up dying a little bit before I planned on them to. So I did have some backups, but they didn't work out. So we're gonna have some backups coming here in a couple of days. We're gonna swap these out for some new cucumbers and keep it pushing. Try to get as much cucumbers as we can before the season is over in about mid-October. That way we can get as much pickles and as many things like that, like relish and stuff like that, jarred and put away. Looks like our water has done flowed. Let's close this back off. Well, so that's what I've got going on over here. It's been kind of hectic. I have multiple channels, so I've been really busy. But the content is getting ready to start ramping up back out here. Now that I can withstand being out here. You know, I'm a little bit of a hefty guy, so being out here in the brutal heat doesn't do very good for me. So now that the weather's cooling off a little bit, which it feels great out here right now, we've got a little bit of a breeze. It's dropped about 5-10 degrees, about 6 degrees right now. Oh, feels really good. It's about 79, 78, feels really good. But now that the weather has started to change just a little bit, we still have a couple of days in the 90s, then we're gonna start creeping back down. I see some nights in the 60s, and that's what I'm waiting on. Those are gonna be some nice camping nights for me, which brings me to why I do all of these systems like I do with the watering. The reason is because I like to do those things. I like to spend time away from here. I like to, you know, do other types of gardening as well as outdoor stuff. A lot of outdoor stuff, by the way. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I had to worry about these plants all the time. If I had to worry about constantly maintaining them, watering them, make sure they're fed, you know, make sure everything is going on with them correctly, make sure they're not getting sun, scalded, things like that. That gives me extra time to go ahead and do what I like to do, like spend a lot of time in the outdoors. If you're interested in what I have going on outdoors, you can go hit this video's description, pull up my outdoor channel, Wild Millennial. Love to have you over there. Give that a subscribe. If you're new here, I'm Jason. Welcome to Backyard Reliance. So like this video, subscribe to the channel. We'd like to have you. We have a lot of stuff growing over here. I put a lot of thought into my systems, and I just like to bring the education and the knowledge that I have to people out there in hopes that maybe somebody out there will see it and want to implement this into their system. There's numerous ways you can do this. You don't have to do it exactly like this, but maybe this will give you that spark or start that creative journey that you're looking to go on so that you too don't have to spend all your hot days in the middle of summer out here in the gardening in 90-degree weather. See ya.